Alright, so it's about 9 a.m. Just getting ready to head out of my campsite here. I'm still in Joe Lake. I'm heading all the way up to at least Burn Island today. I'm going to try and get all the way into Otter Slide. A little slow moving today. I've been up since 6:30 and still not ready to go yet. But pretty much got everything laid out on the rocks, ready to go. I cooked breakfast, cleaned, had some coffee. All that's really left to do is pack up my hammock here. Now this was my second night sleeping in this hammock. First night was a week ago, and I just sweat all night long. It was awful. This time it was a lot cooler when I went to bed, but I was still sweating, so I put on shorts and short sleeves and kicked off my socks. That was great until about 5 a.m. when I woke up freezing. So I had to unzip and kind of peek my feet out and put on some socks and long pants, long shirt. I never did use a sleeping bag, so that was probably a mistake. I should have at least laid on top of it. But live and learn. For an impromptu site, I quite like it. It's quite nice. This big hill here has been a bit of a pain to climb up and down. There's no real good road. There's about 4 half-ass ones, which made for a couple close calls last night. I was pretty tired and stumbly. So I ended up making use of this ground tarp that was left behind, but now I kind of feel like because I touched it, I'm responsible for it. But unfortunately, I just don't have the pack space to bring it out of here. My bags are full to the brim. So this crappy little blue tarp will hopefully serve someone else. Yep, and there's the other end of the portage. It's a rather short one, but still, why do it if you don't have to? Alright, so I just skipped another portage on Joe Creek. It's been pretty easy so far, but just ahead of me some fast water. And if I remember correctly, that's right where you come out into Lost Joe. So I'm just going to pull up to this and get out and walk it up. And then I'll see if I can skip the next one too. Alright, so I just finished walking that stream and that led me on to Lost Joe Lake. Now the last time I was on Lost Joe, I was actually lost. It's kind of funny because we'd taken the portage from Joe Creek to what we thought was Baby Joe. However, it was in fact this lake here, which it really confused us because we just couldn't figure out how to get off it. But it wasn't until afterwards when I got home and did some reading online that I found out we could skip all these portages. So I made a vow that day I'd come back and do it all again without doing any of the portages if I could. So it's been about 2 years since I was on this lake last. And it's a very nice lake when it's a sunny day like today. But the day we were out here was pretty miserable. Pretty much rained and was windy all day. Here a bit to my left looks like the stream that I can drag the boat up, so we'll get a little closer and see what it looks like. If not, I might be going back and doing the other portage. But the less I have to carry my gear, the better. Heard this one's a little rougher a lot of little rapids and rocks to twist your ankle on. So you'd almost be best just to leave your hiking shoes on and just get them wet. But I don't really want to do that today. The water's definitely moving a little faster on this one. And I think I'm approaching from the wrong angle. Oops. Alright, let's get out and have a look. Alright, after skipping that last portage, I decided it was time to take a break and change into some lighter clothes and have a little snack. I've got one last little river to walk up, which will take me into Baby Joe Lake, and then it's a quick paddle across Baby Joe into Burn Island Lake. The portage there is only about 200 meters. That'll be the first one I'll have to do today. Then hopefully Burn Island Lake's not too windy. I can head all the way up into Little Otter Slide. Now unfortunately it seems like there's just endless groups of cubs and Girl Guides, and they're all going by, 3 or 4 canoes at a time, chanting and singing, so I guess not everyone comes out here for the peace and quiet. After getting thrown around by the wind a bit more, I ended up taking a break on a site that was free. I was so exhausted that I didn't bother setting up my hammock, and instead I laid out this blue tarp, and I just laid down on that and passed out for a good 3 or 4 hours. When I woke up, it was getting kind of late, and I was still exhausted, so I ended up deciding just to call this home for the night, and I set up my hammock and had a bit of a fire and some dinner, and it was a very early night that night.